Welcome Casturians. In this video we will discuss chapter 2 of history, that is socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. And today we will discuss the French Revolution. So let's start. In 1914, Tsar Nicholas II was ruling the Russian Empire, and the Russian Empire included the territories around present-day Moscow, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, parts of Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus. The society was comprising of the population, around 85% population engaged in agriculture, that is, the French economy was actually an agrarian economy, and the industry was not so much flourished, it was very limited in number. The workers, they were divided into groups, but when it came to strikes, they united, and when they were dissatisfied with the owners or the policies, they often went to strike, but in a unified manner. The peasants, they had no respect for nobility, and very unlike the French peasants. And the majority religion was Orthodox Christianity, but the Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, and Buddhists were also present in the empire. And being an agrarian economy, as 85% population was involved in agriculture, Russia was a major exporter of grains. As the industry was limited in number, it was the private property of industrialists, and the government industries were there, but they were supervised to ensure minimum wages and limited hours of work. Factory inspectors were there to prevent the rules from being broken, but it was not so. And workers, they were divided into groups depending upon their skill. They were divided by their skill, and women, they made up to 31% of the factory labor, but they were paid less than men. Say, this division amongst workers was in the manner of their dress, and in their manners, working manners was shown, and it was prevalent. And the nobility, the crown, that is the king, and the Orthodox Church, they owned large properties. Now we will see how socialism, it flourished and how it was brought to Russia. In Russia, before 1914, all political parties, they were declared illegal. In 1900, the Russian Socialist Democratic Labour Party was formed, and the main motive of the party was to fight against, or to struggle to give peasants their rights over land that belonged to nobles, and the land was to be divided among peasants periodically. So it was felt that peasants and not workers would be the main source of the revolution. But Lenin, he was not agreeing with this, and he felt that peasants were not one social group. In fact, other people from the mainstream society should be involved in the struggle, and that's why the party was divided into Bolsheviks and Mensheviks, and the Bolshevik group was led by Lenin, that is Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. And Lenin, who was leading the Bolshevik group, their main ideology was that the party should be disciplined and should control the number and quality of members. That is, only a few restricted criterions were to be fulfilled for a person to become a member of the Bolshevik party, whereas the Mensheviks, they thought that the party should be open to all. So that's why the party was divided into Bolsheviks and Mensheviks. Then came the 1905 revolution. The liberals, they wanted to end the autocracy of the Tsar, and they were actually working towards demanding a constitution during the revolution of 1905. As the Tsar was not subject to parliament, that is, Tsar was not responsible or answerable to the parliament, so that's why they wanted to bring about a constitution in which a parliament should be there, to which the Tsar should be answerable before implementing and laying down any policy. And it is for this reason that the liberals, they worked together with social democrats and socialist revolutionaries during the revolution to demand a constitution. It was in 1904 that the prices of essential goods, they rose so quickly that the real wages declined by 20%. That is, the person who was earning, it was falling short by 20% of their earnings to fulfill their basic requirements of food. When the 4 members of Puchilov iron workers, they were dismissed, this action led to a call for an industrial action, and over 110,000 workers in St. Petersburg, they went on strike to demand a reduction in working hours and increase in wages, as they were already affected by the quick rise in prices. This procession, it was attacked by the police and the Cossacks, and over 100 workers were killed in this incident. Following this incident, thus it rose widespread anger and strikes took place. As a reaction, people started demanding a constituent assembly that can put a control on the Tsar. And on the advice of its ministers, the Tsar allowed and he gave permission for creation of an elected consultative parliament or Duma. The Tsar dismissed the first Duma within 75 days and announced the election of a second Duma. And in the second Duma, the members, they were of different origin and they started clashing with the rights of the Tsar. So the Tsar constituted the third Duma, in which only the conservative politicians were there. Now we will see the First World War and the Russian Empire. In Russia, when the First World War started, it was initially very popular, but later the support for Russia, it grew thin, it became feeble. Anti-German sentiments, they ran high. Russian armies, they lost in Germany and Austria, they were defeated, and it also affected the industry. There was shortage of labor due to forced recruitment, and by 1916 the railway lines, they began to break down and the small workshops, they were closed. So there was shortage of grain and hence of bread. Why? Because the large number of people, especially the young people who were involved in agriculture, they were forced to serve in the Russian army. That's all we have in this video. The remaining parts we will discuss in the coming videos. Thank you and have a nice day.